Hey everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records. It's time for our weekly check into some of the new releases headed to an independent record store near you. Just going to cover the highlights today though, but if you'd like to see that full list, you can always head over to our website at radiowastelandrecords.com. From there, just look for the link to the upcoming releases, click on that, and you'll be treated to a glorious PDF of everything that we've got coming out for the week of the 17th of May. Not pretty, but it does its job. So let's dive into the highlights, though, as we mentioned. These are what we can look forward to for some of the new releases for Friday, the 17th of May, 2024. Kind of a big one to kick us off. It's something new from Slash. It's called Orgy of the Damned. This is really kind of a star-studded release from Slash and others. The description says that it is a double LP with blues-inspired music and iconic guests such as Chris Stapleton, Gary Clark Jr., Iggy Pop, and Beth Hart. One of these things is not like the other. Well, the songs covered on this, by the way, highlight classics by blues heavyweights, including Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Steppenwolf, Stevie Wonder, and many more. So again, double LP from Slash. Let's look at a few of the other guest stars on this. See Chris Robinson, Gary Clark Jr., Billy Gibbons, the aforementioned Chris Stapleton and Iggy Pop, Paul Rogers, Demi Lovato, Brian Johnson is on here with him, as well as Beth Hart. So Slash's Orgy of the Damned, a star-studded blues-inspired album, coming in at a suggested list price of about $30. Up next is something from Cleopatra Records. This is Slow Ride, live in concert from Foghat. The description says that this is the highly anticipated vinyl companion to the recently issued CD and DVD concert by the classic rock heroes Foghat. The concert performance offers undistilled Foghat, recorded live in Texas in 1999, just before Dave Pevitt's death in 2000. The power and drive of these classic songs come ringing through and are a celebration of Foghat's vision and talent many years since the band exploded onto the world scene in 1970. So Foghat's Slow Ride live in concert coming on orange vinyl from Cleopatra Records, listing for around $40. Something brand new from Collective Soul. This is called Here to Eternity. The description says that 30 years after forming, the band is still going strong and continues to create infectious alt-rock music that is loved around the world. So their new album, Here to Eternity, contains 20 tracks of their catchy melodies, driving guitars, and soaring choruses that have defined the band's sound since their early days. So brand new stuff, Here to Eternity from Collective Soul, a double LP according to our description, coming in at a suggested list price of $40. We've got a couple versions of the new one from Cage the Elephant. This is called Neon Pill, and the description says that this is the highly anticipated 2024 album from Cage the Elephant, and the group's first new music since their album Social Cues, which won Best Rock Album at the 2019 Grammy Awards. So as mentioned, we have two vinyl variations of this, the first being on black vinyl. This one is single LP and includes a poster, listing for about $26. Then there is an indie exclusive on Milky Clear vinyl. This one also contains a poster, by the way, but listing a little bit more expensive, coming in at a suggested list of $27. Something brand new also from Billie Eilish. This is called Hit Me Hard and Soft. This is Billie Eilish's third studio album, and according to our description, is her most daring body of work to date. We're seeing a black vinyl version of this, as well as an indie exclusive blue-colored vinyl, kind of a blue-ish, if you will. They're calling it Echo Vinyl. Both of these listing for around $35. Two variations also of the new Avt Brothers LP. This is a self-titled, The Avt Brothers. This is their first new album in 5 years, and it was produced by longtime collaborator, friend, and champion Rick Rubin. We're getting a black vinyl version of this, listing for about $35, and an indie exclusive on light blue colored vinyl. This one also listing for about $35. All right, sit back and hold tight for this one. This is something brand new from the New Kids on the Block. Are they really new kids at this point anymore? It's called Still Kids. So Still Kids is the New Kids on the Block first full-length studio album in 11 years. On this all-new album, members Jonathan Knight, Jordan Knight, Joey McIntyre, Donnie Wahlberg, and Danny Wood channel the New Kids' beginnings, even as it pushes them into new territory as songwriters and as a band. So this album features 14 new tracks, including the lead single, Kids, and according to our description, is full of pop anthems, dance tracks, love songs, and grooves that will become fast favorites for blockheads. That's what fans are called, I suppose. We'll call them blockheads. Still Kids on black vinyl. Brand new stuff from the New Kids on the Block. This one coming in at a suggested list price of $27. And just because we don't have enough fun stuff like this in the world, here's something brand new from William Shatner. This is called Where Will the Animals Sleep? Songs for Kids and Other Living Things. The description embellishes, as always. It says, one of the greatest storytellers of his generation, an icon of stage, screen, and musical performance. Icon of musical performance, I want to say that again. William Shatner proudly presents this ingenious, infectious, and thoroughly entertaining album for children of all ages. Here's where it does get kind of cool as well. Created in collaboration with the longtime guitarist for They Might Be Giants, Dan Miller, not one of the Johns, it's the guitarist from the band They Might Be Giants, and award-winning YA novelist Rob Chernow, Shatner gives voice to characters from across the animal kingdom on this whimsical and educational release. The description goes on to say that this is perfect for parents looking for a new way to engage their young ones and cultivate love for creatures of all kinds, shapes, and sizes. Side note, I did see some controversy surrounding this, because the label, Cleopatra in this case, or Shatner management, whoever did this, used AI to help create the album cover and give us a, well, much younger looking William Shatner, almost cartoonish in this case. But come on, it's Shatner. Give the guy a break. Where Will the Animals Sleep? Songs for Kids and Other Living Things, coming from William Shatner. Brand new stuff. Listing for about $28. Just a few things on the reissue front to carry us into the 17th of May, and we're kicking off with a great one. This is a reissue, a 50th anniversary edition, by the way, of Bridge of Sighs from Robin Trower. The description says that Bridge of Sighs was Trower's sophomore album following his departure from Procol Harum. And now, 50 years later, these new mixes were overseen by Trower himself and include extended versions of the original album, newly mixed from the original master tapes. Now here's the really cool part. This was cut at half speed, especially for this release, and the album now sounds better than it ever has. And this was a good sounding album, by the way. On the second disc, because this is an expanded anniversary release, you can hear the trio amid their U.S. tour supporting the album live at the recording plant, Sausalito, in May of 1974, available in its entirety for the first time on this newly remastered album. So the 50th anniversary edition expanded of Bridge of Sighs from Robin Trower, remixed original and a live album, coming in at a suggested list price of $36. And again, this is a half-speed mastered release, so it is going to sound absolutely phenomenal. Speaking of sophomore albums, here's a reissue of the second album from Ben Folds, the Ben Folds 5 actually. Whatever and Ever Amen was originally released in 1997. The album features fan favorites like Brick, Kate, and Song for the Dump. So the Ben Folds 5 reissue of Whatever and Ever Amen. This one coming from Sony Legacy Records and listing for about $28. Next up is a deluxe edition reissue of Good News for People Who Love Bad News from Modest Mouse. The description says that this offers a unique blend of existential lyricism and innovative soundscapes. So the album, viewed as an alternative classic in the early 2000s, released actually in 2004, I believe, continues to resonate with listeners all these years later. In addition to the hit songs Float On and Ocean Breathe Sky, this 20th anniversary deluxe edition, coming by the way on opaque baby pink and opaque spring green vinyl, the double LP includes an alternative album cover, an 8-page booklet, and 5 brand new remixes from the likes of Poolside, Jackknife Lee, Dan the Automator, and many, many more. So Modest Mouse, Good News for People Who Love Bad News, double LP on this pink and green colored vinyl, deluxe edition, little heftier, but still kind of cool, coming in at a suggested list price of $42. Got a soundtrack reissue to tell you about next. This is Above the Rim, the original soundtrack. It is a double LP colored vinyl pressing housed in a gatefold jacket. So this 30th anniversary edition of Above the Rim, the soundtrack, will be the first vinyl release ever with the complete 21-song track listing. So reissued, but with all of the original music that was probably only available on compact disc at that point. So all previous vinyl releases were just these 18 tracks. Now the double LP reissue of Above the Rim on colored vinyl, looks to be kind of an orange flame vinyl. This one coming in at a suggested list price of $36. And you may not have heard of this next band unless you know your history of Joy Division. This is a reissue of Warsaw coming on limited edition transparent vinyl. So the description says that the highly acclaimed UK post-punk band Joy Division was originally called Warsaw, formed in Manchester, England in the late 1970s. So what we have here is some very raw, early Joy Division-ish stuff, including an early version of the song Transmission, which Joy Division went on to make very, very famous. So if you're into this early Joy Division stuff, this could be very cool. Warsaw on limited edition transparent vinyl, coming in at a suggested list price of about $20. Now, I did look a little forward into the future on this, and I believe there's going to be a red vinyl version of this in just a week or two after this. So if you're really interested in this, maybe decide which version you might like, but I think that's going to be around the same price. And finally today, we've got a reissue, a good punk reissue from the band Dix and their album Kill from the Heart. This was Dick's debut LP and has been acknowledged as a foundational statement in punk rock ever since its initial release in 1983. The description goes on to say that Dix were operating at an absolute peak at their career in this point. And now, 40 years on, Kill from the Heart continues to smolder, an arresting testament to the possibilities of an emboldened creative rage. And again, according to the description, it's no surprise that Dix have been covered by the likes of Mudhoney, Jesus Lizard, and many, many more. So this reissue, early punk stuff from Dix, Kill from the Heart, coming in at a suggested list price of $30. And that is a quick check of some of the new releases headed our way for Friday, the 17th of May, 2024. If you're local here to our Radio Wasteland area and you'd like to place a pre-order, just contact us here at the store and we'll take care of you. Otherwise, you can head over to our website at radiowastelandrecords.com. From there, just look for the upcoming releases. You can click and see the entire list and let us know if there's something else that you think you might need from that upcoming list. So until next week, this has been Jim from Radio Wasteland. Thanks a lot for being here.